Take 3. I'm going to make this video about hours of service for not truck driving people that see Facebook, Twitter posts and videos from me and wonder, what does it mean? Because it's a mysterious thing that no one knows, because of course they don't drive a truck, so they never learned about it. Unless they read CDL manuals for fun or something. Okay, so very simple. Hours service main page. Status. So what am I doing right now? Well, I'm off duty. I've been off duty for 36 minutes. No 34-hour reset. I gained no hours tonight at midnight. And 2 days from now, well, so tomorrow midnight, I get back a whole 2 hours and 58 minutes. That's exactly why I'm doing this 34-hour restart that I'm on, because that'll get all my hours back instead of just 3. And I drove 220 miles. So you can change it: off duty, sleeper berth, driving, on duty. Off duty, I'm off duty. Sleeper berth, you're back there in the mess with the bananas and the crumpled up sleeping bag and everything. Driving, obviously you're driving. The truck will switch to driving on its own if you go to a certain speed or a certain distance. So if you're in a truck stop, you need to move your truck and you're already off duty or in sleeper, you can move it and it won't mess you up. But if you're going to drive 10 miles down the road to go to a different truck stop, or like Lard Bucket McGee's, you're going to have to switch status, because it's going to figure out what you're doing and say, hey, DOT isn't going to be happy with you. And then on duty, obviously, is on duty. That's manual. You use that for like checking out the truck in the morning for your pre-trip, checking it when you're done for the day for your post-trip, when you're at a shipper or receiver, filling out paperwork, that kind of thing. That's pretty much any work that isn't driving. So very simple. I didn't even need to really explain that, but I just did. So we'll go to summary tab, because this is the one that I posted a picture of last night, and someone was like, what do all these mean? So right now, 8-hour rest break. I have 8 hours. So they're like, well, okay, 8-hour rest break. Once you press that on duty status and you submit it, or if you're a scummery and you just go from off duty and you just start driving right away and you let the thing throw you on driving by itself, which you're not supposed to do, because you should have done pre-trip first. And you're supposed to log when you're on duty, in case in that couple of seconds or minutes between it switching from on duty to driving you get in an accident. Because if you were off duty, well, then who knows, there's a whole bumble that could happen. So when you go on duty, the 8-hour rest break and the 14-hour on duty clock both start counting down, and they do not stop. Nothing can stop them. Nothing can stop the power of the clock. So when this runs out, well, what do? Well, in those first 8 hours, somewhere you have to take a 30-minute break. You want to go closer to the end, because what happens is once you take a 30-minute break off duty, it will give you another 8 hours. So, say you drive 6 hours, well, you're on duty and driving combined for 6 hours, then you take a 30-minute break, you would theoretically have 8 hours more now that you've done that. Of course, it's only going to be up until your 14 runs out. So, your 14 is what controls your driving, essentially, because, as you can see, you can only drive 11 hours a day. So you can drive 11 hours in that 14. So you run out of the 11 before the 14, well, you're done driving. You run out of your 14 before the 11, you're still done driving. You can keep being on duty, but you can't drive. Which it makes sense, because, if you stop driving right at the end of your clock, well, you still need to do your post-trip inspection. You need on-duty time for that. So you can be on duty for 28 hours if you want, as long as you take enough 30-minute breaks. I mean, I don't know why anyone would do that, and then you're going to still need a 10-hour reset at the end of that. So that's what happens. When your 14 runs out, you have to do a 10-hour off-duty or sleeper berth. that will give you another 14 when you come off of it. Your 70, that's your total driving for 8 days. Or not driving, on duty, complete anything, any work. You can do 70 hours of work in 8 days. So, as you can see, I have 3 hours and 39 minutes left on mine. So I can essentially do nothing. I could, like, I don't know, pretty much do nothing. Like, if there was a terminal nearby or I was close to home, I could go home. I'm not, so I'm not doing that. And there's no point going to a terminal either. So, yeah. So, 8 hour break, 8 hour rest break. That's how long you have before you have to take a 30-minute break. 11-hour driving, that's how much you can drive in a day. 14-hour on duty, that's how much time that's your window for your driving. And then 70-hour, how much you can work in 8 days. So if we go, let's see, which one did I want? This one. This is my 8 days. So see, you can see 327, that's today, 220 miles, 4 hours of driving, 517 on duty. And then you can see the other days that I've worked. So if we look at that, 27, 26, so 1, 2, 5, so 23 is 5, 22 is 6, 21 is 7, 20 is 8. So that's your 8 days. So that's why when it said I have 0 hours rolling off at midnight, that's because I did no work on the 20th, because I was home. And then here's that stuff that I'm going to get back 2 midnights from now, 2 hours and 48 or 58 minutes. Then that'll be 3 midnights, 4 midnights, 5 midnights. But instead of waiting all that time to get that 13 back, if I go off duty for 34 hours right now, I'll get my whole 70-hour clock back. Because they see that as, you know, you rested for a long time from work, now you can work again. I kind of wish the 70-hour didn't exist and I could just work forever, but I understand at the same time that that's to protect us probably from our companies going ham on us and just never letting us stop or something. I mean, we still have to get home time, so I don't know. I really don't know why the 70-hour, but whatever. I mean, if the 14 existed at least, that should be enough, but whatever. That doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. So I think that's it. I went over, the big thing was this. This is what people want to know, and it's like, yeah, you can only work 8 hours before a 30-minute break. You can only drive 11 hours a day. You have to do all that driving within these 14 hours, and then you can only work 70 hours in 8 days. And then the 34-hour reset thing that I just explained. I think that's it. I don't need to explain anything else. If I do, leave a comment on this video, and I'll reply. Or if it's a big enough thing, I'll make a video about it. But that's it.